Hello and welcome to yet another scintillating installment of Let's Play Katamari Forever. I'm Dylan, your host, and now let's check in on the King's Cosmos and see what sort of new things we've got to do there. We have cleanup, with one cousin and one present to find. Goal here to clean up the room as fast as possible to make a planet. Sounds good to me, let's roll. This may end up being a pretty short episode. I don't recall, well, I seem to remember this being a very easy to get star, at least the first time through. It's actually one of the more difficult ones to do well, and I'll be able to explain why once we get there, which should just be a moment now. Alright, here we are in the bedroom with a mess on our hands. We have 100 objects to pick up in this room here, and we have as much time as we need to do it, so that's why I say that this is an easy stage to do. But it's a difficult one to do well because in order to do this in the necessary speed to get the best possible 120 point score, you really have to have a route plotted out down to the individual object. I know because I actually took the time to do this at one point. I just remember playing this stage like at least a dozen times, getting my route down and practiced just to get that 120 point score. We are not likely to get a 120 point score here because that was over 2 years ago and I don't remember it at all. But we can pick up L'Amour here, who is the solitary cousin of the cleanup stage. Not big enough to pick up those pieces of track yet. So let's get a few of these small objects here and head up onto the bed, where we should be able to find a few more things to pick up. I don't believe I've addressed this yet, but you may notice whenever I roll up an object and it appears down in the bottom left there, I did not mean to fall down, some objects have their names in white text and others have them in rainbow text, and the rainbow text signifies that we're picking up an object for the first time. That is to say, it's not already an object in our collection, so if you pick up more than one of it on the same stage, they may all be in the rainbow text, but that just means that prior to entering the stage, you had never rolled up that object. And so here early in the game, we're going to be seeing a lot of that, and we're likely to see a lot of it as we reach new size categories as well. Actually, we'll be continuing to pick up new objects, of course, throughout the game, but it's particularly common here at the beginning when we picked up, pretty much nothing. So we've got the lasting version of the heart there. The king refers to this as fever, but it's already expired by the time he's telling us about it, and now we're down to just 5 objects remaining. This is where it gets really tricky. Sometimes finding the last few objects can take as long as playing the rest of the stage, but it seems I did a pretty good job since we only have one thing eluding us, and I think it's over there. Yeah, it's right up on the desk. So we'll roll up this keyboard here. We should just roll up the keyboard. We should be able to pick up that pencil stand, and there we go. Look at how much tidier. Very nice work from me. We managed to get as big as 582 orange crayons. I don't know if orange crayons are larger than other crayons, but Royal Rainbow! Almost missed it again. I gotta be on the ball. Gotta be waiting for that. Ah, yes. Life is messy, but the Katamari cleans all. We took 2 minutes, 28 seconds to clean up those 100 objects. It seems like we could have done that about twice as quickly if we knew what we were doing. We mostly got playtime, also art and stationery. Can't imagine that outcome varies much from run to run, considering you're always getting the same 100 objects. And 31 points. That's not altogether awful. It's definitely improvement on our Make a Star 2 score. So I'll take it. I'll accept that 31 points. And à l'amour. New cousin to come hang out with us at the village square. And, oh crap! I completely forgot the present. So I guess we'll be heading back to pick that up, won't we? Okay, here we are. Last time I was so preoccupied with getting the 100 required objects that I completely overlooked this royal present sitting here on the windowsill, but there it is now, and let's see if I can find those last 2 objects. Well, there's the pencil stand we saved for last previously. Should be one more object. Ah, and there it is. Managed to beat our previous score by 23 seconds. Not altogether bad. It is indeed a new record. Royal Rainbow! Picked it up a little bit quicker that time, getting better at this. It's like I never lost it. And why not? Let's check our score again this time. Yep, cleaning up after history, that's life. Katamari? This is what a Katamari is, King. Yeah, just give me the score. What I get the most? The same playtime, art, and stationery. Even though I did manage to pick up 103 objects, well, Lamour was on the stage again, so there was one cousin, and I picked up the royal present. That's 102. And the King's Heart makes 103. Okay, all objects accounted for. 54 points. There you go. That's a much more reasonable score. And well, I'm still not totally happy with it, but considering the difficulty of getting a high score on this stage, which I know from experience, you know, I'm not too upset with a 54-point score. Well, there's our royal present. Guess what it is? We'll be trying that on in just a few moments. First, we get to choose whether to make a star or stardust out of this. Basically, if we choose to make stardust, we get to retain our previous high score, which is recorded there as the dusty planet, 31 points. But we're actually going to choose to make a star here, which will replace that dusty planet with our new very messy planet, worth 54 points, and turn the previous dusty planet to stardust. Now starring, yes. Off you go, dusty planet. Make way for the brand new planet. And he gives us the option of playing it again, but that's quite enough of that for now. And that's just about it for this episode as well, though I do want to check out that royal present. Yeah, it likes to report our high scores to the network, and then it auto-saves. A little bit inconvenient there. Alright, anyway, Cousins and Presents page. Head over here to the present stand. Underneath the giant cake, we can check out our new royal present, the antenna. And as you can see, we can actually equip that giant version of our cousin's regular antenna and the gum at the same time. You can actually have up to 3 presents equipped at the same time in this game, 1 from each of the rows, which is pretty nice. And plus, as you can see, the camera's up there in the top right, because once you've collected the camera, you essentially always have its functionality. I don't think there's any way of actually wearing the camera in a visible way in this game, though, you know, maybe I'm forgetting something about that. Like, it's possible that you can see it when you're actually using it, but I'm not sure about that. Anyway, we'll go ahead and wear this new giant antenna along with our gum there. And with that, thanks a lot for watching, and see you next time when we, I believe, head over to Make a Star 3. See you then.